Welcome. Welcome to the live now. Can you put your hands together for Paul and for Jay? Hey, thank you. Good to have you here. Thank you for giving Olivia a little break, and it's always good to have you here. Thank you very much. For some of you guys, you may not know who Sean is. Sean is a little guy. I first met him when he was probably like about 16 years old. He's about 16 years old. He was out at PS1. I don't know if you guys know Chinatown. PS1, there's a little schoolyard there. And I was just scouting. This is about 5 years ago. I was just scouting, looking for players for a basketball team. That's the start. I mean, we had no team. We had nobody. We had 0 guys, except for maybe 1 or 2. And we're, let's get the team going. And so I'm just out there scouting, just sitting at the park bench watching kids play basketball. And there's this guy, this short little kid. And that's Sean. No, Sean's not. You guys know Sean. You know who Sean is. He was so fast, that little kid. He wasn't playing basketball. He was just running. He was just running through the park. And I'm like, who's that guy? Who's that guy? Because I know some of the kids. I said, oh, yeah, that's Sean. I said, yeah, bring him down next week. Bring him down. And through these past 5 years, I got to know Sean a little better, and it's really cool. He's not here today. But during this whole past week, I've been getting texts, I've been getting messages, I've been just getting, just touching base. And you're in the Warriors basketball team. You see it, right? He even sent me a video. He sent us a video. We have a little private group. And he sent us a short little video of him playing with his daughter out in Pennsylvania. He's traveling, and it's just meeting with families. So Sean's about 21 years old right now, and he has 2 kids. Yeah, he has 3 kids. Oh, jeez, I missed that one. Sorry, he has 3 kids now, Preston. Oh, my goodness. He comes from a very rough background, and it's very hard on him. I'm sure. But I'm so proud of him, the way he's changing, the way he's just coming around. And he sent us a short little video, and he sends us texts this whole past week. I'm gonna miss you guys. It was just so encouraging to all of us. You guys didn't see it, but for the basketball guys, you guys know what I'm talking about, but you guys see it. He says, I miss you, we're family, we love you, we'll see you next week. And he's just keeping it real, he's just reconnecting. And the reason I brought him up is because on one of his posts, on a video, he was sharing about his daughter. His daughter about like 2 years old, 3 years old, I don't know exactly the age. And he goes, man, this is so hard. It's tough. It's very difficult. There's a lot of joy in it as well too, that's what he said too. And he goes, raising kids is not easy. And I totally understand, and I sent him back some things. I tried to encourage him. I said, hey, Pops, good job, good going, all that stuff. And the reason I relate this with all of you right now is your greatest joy. I'll say again, your greatest joy, some of your greatest joy is going to come through relationships. Is that true, yes or no? Yeah, is that true? Likewise, I'm going to say this as well too. Yeah, they're smirking, right? Someone's smirking back there. But some of you guys are going to go like this. At the same time, your greatest sorrows is going to be through relationships as well too. Yes or no? Think about it. If your greatest joy, some of your greatest joys come through relationships, Daniel was also say that some of your greatest sorrows, the toughest battles, man, it's going to go through relationships. Your greatest joy is when your relationships are working well, right? Yes or no? And your greatest headaches and sorrows and tears, the part that breaks your heart, guys, you guys know what I mean, right? It's going to come from relationships. It's not just going to be like, man, I can't wait to have that lobster dish, or I can't wait to have that cheesesteak sandwich and go to that great place. And you're going to have all that good stuff, all that fun stuff. But you also know that you want to share that lobster dish with somebody special, right? Or you want to share that sandwich with somebody special. And so all your common, let's say, things that you do, you want to do it with someone you love and someone you care for. So my question to you is very, very simple right now. If your greatest joys come from relationships, and if your greatest sorrows come from relationships as well too, one question is this. What's one criteria? You have multiple criteria. What's one criteria that you will use and say, man, I don't want my heart to be broken. If my greatest sorrows comes through a relationship, and go, man, if I make this the right decision, some of my greatest joys come from relationships. So what's that one criteria you're going to look at in your relationship and allow people to come to that circle of yours? What do you look for before you allow someone to come to that circle? Where that person could break your heart, or that person could just, wow, not just one single person, but all your relationships. What's one criteria you look for in your relationships? When people come to your life, be it at work, be it at church, be it at a team, be it at a function, be it at a party, be it at a bar, and you start to know people, what's one criteria you're going to look and monitor over time? Again, it's not like right there, you got that right there, but what's one criteria you always kind of keep your eyes out for and say, okay, if this person continues this type of actions and behavior, yeah, I think, yeah, I could go there. Have you guys thought about that? Or do you not think about all those things and just allow relationships to come and allow people to come to your life? And then all of a sudden, one day you wake up and you're hurt. You go, oh my goodness, I should have seen it coming all along. And I didn't see it. So think it through. I'll share one criteria with you. I think if you're going to monitor one criteria, you look at this criteria over time, and I say that chances are you're going to have a great relationship. Cool. Do your pen. Everyone say, let's go. Let's go. Go to the back of your program. We continue from last week. Nice and loud. Please read with me. The title of the message series, Relationships. It's all about intimacy. There's no filling for the first one. Please just read with me. Let me put on my glasses. Yes. Okay. Essential purpose is to help each other grow to be our best. Please read 2 Peter chapter 3, verse 18. Nice and loud. Please read with me. But grow in the grace and knowledge of our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. See the word grow. Everyone say grow. Grow. Two things. Grow in the grace, underlying depth of one next to grace. Underlying knowledge. Put number 2 there. Grow in grace, grow in knowledge. Let me have attention, please. We started this from a couple weeks ago. We're continuing from last week. And you have to get this first point. This is a principle. Once you have this principle, everything else flows through this, okay? Is that cool? So I repeated from last week and the week before, but I want to make sure that we have this. The essential purpose is to help each other grow, to be our best. Would you agree with me on that? Would you agree? Let me have attention look way up here. If you look at all your relationships, right, and you start to figure it out, if your greatest joy is going to come through relationships, and your greatest sorrow, and your greatest tears are going to come through relationships, then ask yourself this question. Are not the essential purpose of any relationship, in all relationships, that that person will bring the best out of you? That's the essential purpose of any relationship. Absence of that, do you have a truly relationship? Absence of trying to bring the best out of each other, do you truly have a relationship? No, you don't have a relationship. You may have some conveniences. You might say, you know what, we share some common interests. We have a great time hanging out. We love movies, and we just go see movies, we have dinners, and we just hang out. But if that's all we do, then we don't have a relationship. Are you cool? So you have to keep that principle in the back of your mind. In all my relationships, how can I help that person to be the best that person can be? That's what I have to go through. It's not natural. It's a habit that's formed. So in all my relationships, what I have to go through is, how can I help this person to be the best he or she can be? And vice versa holds true for myself included. Because relationships are two-way, isn't it? So then I would also look for, how is this person going to help me to bring the best out of me? Isn't that true? So that's the principle. Let's go to the next point. This is what we're trying to say today. And in all relationships, as you grow and help each other grow, you're nurturing intimacy and you're meeting needs. So here's the first criteria that I would look for. Become an encourager. I want to say encourager. Encourager. Please read 1 Thessalonians 5:11. Nice and loud. Please read with me. Therefore, encourage one another and build each other up, just as in fact you are doing to defend. Therefore, encourage. So the word encourage. Everyone say encourage. Encourage. Encourage one another and build each other up. And watch this. Paul goes, just as in fact you are doing. So the word doing. And let me have attention, please. So if there's one thing that I look for, and I think there's one thing that you should also consider to look for, is this in all your relationships. Is that person an encourager? If your greatest joy comes from helping each other to grow to the best that you can be, then should you not be also looking that in all your relationship, is that person an encouragement to me? Do you think that as a criteria now? If the essential principle is help each other to be the best you can be, then you want someone who can encourage you. Yeah? I would desire. Ever since you were young, ever since you were a baby, at about a year old, or before you were a year old, your mom and dad was already encouraging you. For those who have parents, I know some of you don't have parents with you, but for those of you who have parents or guardians or grandmothers who love you, you have someone that said, oh, yes. And then, about 1 year old, you're starting to walk and you're form all over the place, everything else. And the words that you hear, you probably forgot, you never could even remember, is someone that said, let's go, get up, you could do this. Yeah? You look at any parents of children, if their children fall, come on, let's go, you got this. We need to have that. That is so critical to your development, to my development, to your emotional development, to my emotional development. Absence of that, we're less than. So I think if there's one thing that you should look for, and I should look for, so that we could avoid all the pitfalls of relationship, is ask that question of all the people in your life, all the people in your life, is that person an encourager to me? Ask that question. And you should likewise turn it around and say, am I an encourager to these people in my life? Now catch this. Here's a premise. Who has close relationships? Mom, dad, siblings? You guys have close relationships. Here's a premise I offer for you to consider. The closer, would you agree with me, the closer that relationship is, should that person not be more of an encourager to you? Yeah, right? It's so simple, oh my gosh. Say it again. The closer that person is to you, and because that person is so close to you, there are emotional ties that you have. Invisible ties, no, there's no invisible from mom to child, but there are emotional ties, emotional investments, time, energy, effort, all invested in that relationship. And if that relationship is so important to you, should you not use that criteria and ask, okay, how is this person I am so close to? Is this person truly an encourager to me? And am I an encourager to that person? What are we getting here? And you said, that person is really, really close to me, but then, oh my goodness, how are we encouraging one another to be the best we can be? Let me just give you a definition or some description of what encouragement is all that, so we can start it like this here. It goes like this. From the Bible, there are some descriptions and definition of what encourager is, okay? It goes like this. To strengthen, to help, to repair, to fortify, to maintain, to prevail, to recover, to repair, to behave self-valiantly, to withstand. Here is another one. It goes like this, because if you look into, let's say, a dictionary, it goes like this. It's very simple. It goes, to make someone more determined, hopeful, or confident, to make someone more likely to do something, to tell or advise someone to do something, to spur on, to give help, to persuade. Don't you need that in your life? I certainly do. I have to confess to all you guys. I need encouragement. Yes. I admit it to you guys. And I bet you, every one of you need it. So that little illustration, since you're a year and a half, you will need it to the day you die. You would need it even more later on in your life. Because as your life changes, you would think some of you say, I don't need any encouragement. I got this. Coach, I got this. Pastor Ken, I got this. I don't need anyone's encouragement. No, you do. Certainly you do. Because your life changes. Your life circumstance changes. You change. And what does the word change mean? Transition. Transition is hard. Change is hard. We're not used to transitioning. We don't like to change. We seriously don't want to change. It's so difficult. There's a part of it that just wants to sit there and say, oh, I wish I could do this. But that's why you need people in your life that encourages you, to help you change, to fortify you, to sustain you, to encourage you to move you forward. So I want you to look at this way. In all your relationships, ask yourself a very simple question. Is that person an encourager to me? And am I an encourager to this person? And here's how we look at it through the Bible. We talked about it last week. There are 6 traits, 6 things that you can do and I can do to be an encourager. First one, real fast, from last week. And we'll continue from last week. There's no fill-ins. Number one, it requires what? Please read. Requires intentionality. Number two, what does it require? It requires a committed relationship. Number three, what does it require? It requires time and effort. Let me have attention before I go there. Encouragement does not come natural. Encouragement does not just take place and poof. It takes time, it takes effort. It takes time, it takes effort. You have to be purposeful. You have to say, I'm in a committed relationship. If I'm in this committed relationship, then it goes both ways. It's not just about me. It's not always about me. Since I'm in a committed relationship, there will be seasons that I will be the encourager, and I will have to put out a lot. But yet it's a two-way relationship. There will be seasons and time and days that this person will encourage you. But it's intentional, it's purposeful. And it takes time, and it takes a lot of effort, truly. If you don't put time and effort into those relationships, you are not an encourager. And I'll show you how we could do it. 4. We did this last week. I hope some of you practiced it. Read with me. We require speaking positive words. Please read Acts 20:1-2, nice and loud. Please read with me. Paul sent for the disciples, and after encouraging them, said goodbye and set out for Macedonia. He traveled through that area, speaking many words of encouragement to the people. Take a pen. This is where we left off last week. You guys remember? Yeah? Cool. Paul sent for disciples, and after encouraging them, circle the word encouraging them, he said goodbye. And he went to this area called Macedonia. And he traveled through that area. Catch this, this is so cool. He goes like this. Speaking many words of encouragement. Circle speaking many words. Underline encouragement. Give me your attention, please. Very simple question. We were talking about encouragement, right? We're talking about encouragement. And one phrase that we use is I love you, right? We talked about it last week. You know how many people contacted me last week? Either through email, text, Facebook, and say, Pastor Kenny, these are some of the hardest words. I cannot say this to my parents. My heart broke. I am serious. I'm serious. And I got this. I have witnesses too. I love you, Pastor Kenny, but I cannot say I love you to my parents. I'm going like, oh no, this is bad. This is really, really bad. I go, I did not raise you. I did not wipe your butt. I did not change the diaper. I did not give you the milk bottle. But I get it. I totally get it. I totally get it. So our closest relationship, we said that we start from the beginning. Our dearest relationship, our most important relationships are the people that should be encouraging us, and we should be able to encourage them, but yet we are not even able to say, I love you. Something stops us because of pain. There's a lot of stuff that has happened over time between parent, child, between husband, wife, between spouses, between friends, all over. We can't even say, I care for you. We can't say that. We can't even say that. It was so difficult. But I'm glad that some of you were able to. Some of you were able to say, share with me, said, yeah, I'm making this stride, I'm taking these little steps. I got a short little video for you guys. Is that cool? A short video. Remember the lights, please. Shut the lights. Lights, please. Shut the lights. Thank you.
Hey Dad, what? We trying to the doctors again?
You have to turn left here and then go straight, okay? What you do at doctor anyway? You sick? Get some Panadol then.
No, I'm going there for a blood test because I want to find out what blood type I am.
Oh, okay. Is this what you do in your spare time?
It's kind of for my work.
Kinda gay. Hey boy, how's school?
Not that good. I get bullied at school.
I don't care. I just want to know the result from your report card.
They're pretty good. I got a A+ in math.
That's okay. 7 times 7, 49. That's okay.
I got an A+ in chemistry.
That's good. Make me the drug.
A+ in physics.
That's okay. You could have done better. What about the English?
I got
What about the English?
I got I got a B plus.
B plus. I'm good. That's it. Too late. No more chance. You die.
What?
You die, okay? When we get home, I'm gonna go to the backyard, okay? Get my butcher knife, chop the branch, chop the stick from the tree, very long one, and I'm gonna have to whip a bitch. I'm gonna have to whip you. I'm gonna have to whip you.
No, sorry, Dad. I'm sorry.
Sorry is not an excuse, okay? Okay? Just listen to my lecture. Listen carefully, okay? A is stand for the good job, okay? A stand for the good job. You have to get A, okay? A stand for the good job. A stand for a doctor, a lawyer, a dentist, okay? Or the good job.
Then that means A can stand for a garbage man.
Garbage man. Garbage man. Garbage man start with a G. No wonder you failed in English. You can't even spell garbage man. Just get out of my car, okay? We already at the doctor. Just get out. Garbage man start with a G. Even I know that, and I can't even spell garbage. So how was it? Your blood all good?
Yeah, it was all good.
So what the result? What blood type are you?
My blood type is B positive.
B positive. B plus. B plus.
Alright, man, lights win. Put your hands together, just show a little fun. Who has Asian parents like that? Who has Chinese parents like that? You go home, Louis, go. You cannot go home with less than an A, Malik. You cannot go home with less than an A, I'm serious. I shared this video in two reasons. We're talking about encouraging. But some of us, we cannot say those words, and it's so difficult. It's so difficult, but yet I think it's so important for us to hear positive words. And maybe, here I say that because we've never heard it from our parents. And for some of us, I have people that tell me, my dad, mom never told me I love you. I said, oh my goodness. And I thought about my childhood too, and I go like this, yeah, you're right. I don't recall my dad saying I love you. I don't recall it. It's not normal. For some reason, it's just not normal for them. I don't know why. And maybe much later on, there may have been one for my mom, but my mom, definitely not my dad. My dad was like kind of rough. My question to you is this. So how do you deal with something like that? If our greatest relationship is to be able to encourage one another, then shouldn't our words come out? Are you guys hearing me? Shouldn't our words be able to come out to affirm one another? Question for all of you. Who's good? Who's good? Who's good with it? And who could do this? And speak positive, uplifting words? Just want to know. Some of you. I'm saying like, I'm seeing maybe 50 of you guys right here, and I see about maybe 10 hands raised and said, I'm okay. I think I'm good to speak positive words. So for the rest of the 40 of you, is that like the man that's portrayed as the dad? Are you like that? More critical? I don't know. Or maybe just silence. Who's silence? Who does not speak positive words? Does not come out normally, easily. 1, 2, 3, yeah? Does not come out. Who has a tough time speaking positive words? Just want to know. Tough time, really tough time. So where's everybody else? You can't even raise your hand. It is so difficult. So difficult. But you have to practice that. In all your relationships, catch this, in all your relationships, there are people. Each of those relationships, seriously, I'm not joking. Each of those relationships that you count very dear to you, is desire to get something good from you. Absolutely. Absolutely without doubt. You know how I know? Because you desire it. You still desire it. Because if it affirms you, we say that you have needs, and you have needs, and I have needs as well too. We have this need to have a sense of significance and contribution to the world. I'll say it again. You have a need and I have a need. We're not talking about more money. More money is not going to make it for you. But you have a need and I have a need from the people who are dearest to us, that they affirm us, that they look at us and they say to us that we are significant, that we are of value, and that we can contribute to the world. And that's what encourager does. So again, if you're not good with speaking positive words, just start. Don't go all the way, I love you. You don't have to say that. But maybe just start in all your relationships. Say something positive, but recognize something positive. Is that cool? That's just the first step. Question again. Who's good with saying positive words? Is this what I'm saying? Yeah. Okay, cool. Let's do the second one, okay? For an encourager, we talked about this. We said you have to be intentional, right? We said you have to be in a committed relationship. It's not about you. It's both sides, right? What's number 3? What else do we say? It takes time and effort, right? What's number 4 on the list? Speak positive words. Let's go to the next one. Take a pen. Number 5. Please read Titus chapter 2, verse 6 to 7. Nice and loud. Please read with me. Similarly, encourage the young men to be self-controlled. In everything, set them an example by doing what is good. Take a pen. It requires modeling examples of positive action. We need to have positive words, but positive words alone is not good enough. It requires modeling examples of positive action. Take a pen, follow me. Similarly, encourage. See that word again? Underline the word encourage. I'm going to say encourage. Encourage the young men to be self-controlled. In everything, set them an example. So the word example. By doing what is good. So the word doing. Underline what is good. Let me get attention, please. If I were to ask you this question, who's your role model, what would you say? And I know what the guys are talking about already. You know, Kobe, Michael Jordan, LeBron James. Okay, cool. I got that. Put that away. That's on the court. Put that away. And you need role models on the court. Truly, totally. Just think, who's your role model? Who do you look at and say, yeah, I'm going to follow that person? Yeah. See, in order for us to encourage one another, you have to speak positive words. Somebody are really good. You say, I'm good. Coach, I'm really good at speaking positive words. But then words alone is not good enough. You know that. Words alone are not good enough. You need the action. You need both. You need people in your life that speak positive, affirming words to you. But if all is just talk, hey, what's right, this, and then there's no action behind it, there's nothing behind it. So for those of you who are good encouragers, affirming, speaking, wonderful. But if there's no action that comes out behind that, then you don't have much. And the relationship does not grow. Again, we go back to the essence, right? The essence of all relationships, the purpose of all relationships is to bring the best out for each other. So how do you do that? You model. So you look at all those relationships and you go, okay, I'm not going to follow my dad. I cannot raise my kids that way. I'm not going to do it that way. Maybe you guys have wonderful dads and that works for you guys. Is that cool? So who's your role model? Think it through. Who's your role model? I'll tell you who's my role model. I have more than one. I'll start with one. Mother Teresa. Is that okay? She's always been. Mother Teresa has always been my role model. Pastor Rick Warren, another one. Always been, still is. I want to share something more important to you guys. I want you guys to look at your role models a little differently. Are you able to look at your relationship, all those important relationships? Are you able to look at each other and say, oh my goodness, that person, ordinary person that you can learn from is so encouraging to you? Does that work? Let me show you guys something. Here's what I mean. I get encouragement from all kinds of people, and I look for it. And when that happened, my heart usually goes a little faster, it goes boom, boom, boom. But I said, oh my goodness, that is so cool. And when I go, that is so cool, then I'm encouraged. So last week, I gave this Bible, just last week, I gave this Bible to a young man. And I wrote into it, and I said, hey, no. And then I wrote something personal. And we started to read from this book of Luke. It's just a book, it's a New Testament. The Bible has 66 books, and one of the books that I told this young man to start reading was the book of Luke. And that was just last week. It was about 11 o'clock up in my office. We had a short little meeting. At the end of the day from last week, the young man came up to me and I said, so how's your reading? He said, good, good. And he wanted to show me something. And he showed it to me. And it's like this. I don't know if you guys can see it. Can you guys see it? Like there's some doodles there. There's some circles there. There's some underlines there. I go, oh my goodness, that is so cool. That is so cool. That was such an encouragement to me. The young man is Jawei. Jawei, you want to say hello to everybody? I don't want to embarrass you. Is it okay if I embarrass you a little bit? Can you turn around? Say hello to everybody? Oh, yeah. Oh, thank you, Jawei. I mean, the little man, I call him little man. Seriously. You don't have to wait for Mother Teresa to come into your life. If she's not going to come into your life, you're not going to see her. I'm not going to see Pastor Rick Warren who's out in Lake Forest. He's not going to receive me. So important to people. There's no access to any of these people. But if you look for the encouragement to help each other to be the best that you can be, is to look at these actions of people, ordinary people in your life, and say, oh my goodness, that is so cool. I am so encouraged. I am so strengthened. That's my encouragement. I am so strengthened. I am so strengthened. I could do this another day. It gives me joy to do this another day. It gives me joy to come out here and share a message with you guys another day. When I see a young man who's only 10 years old, and last week I gave him his first Bible. What does these circles mean? Well, what circle was administering things to him. And I said, why do you got lines here and underline and all this stuff? And all this relationship with these concepts and all this. And he just shared with me. And then this was this last week. And then he had it for a week now, right? Oh my goodness. You don't have to read it anymore. You finished reading the whole Bible. Yeah? No, that's a joke. That's a joke. Jeez. You guys are tough. Okay, hold on. Let me see what you got. 1, 2. Oh my goodness, oh my goodness, oh my goodness. Good stuff. You got all the way up to chapter 8. Thank you. We would just verify that. I told you to just read one chapter, 1 or 2 chapters. You got all the way up to chapter 8. It's really slow. So my sharing of this is very, very simple. You need to have role models in your life. Real life. People you come in contact with. And you look at all those dear relationships that you have, and they may not be perfect, okay? They might not be perfect. And you look at your relationship with a dad, for those of you who are blessed to have a dad who's still alive with you right now, or mom, or guardian, someone who's taking care of you. And you look at that relationship, you look at that dad, and he's far from perfect. He does not speak those positive words that you so desire to hear, but maybe there's something that you can learn from him. Are you guys hearing me? Are you guys hearing me? Not the perfect dad, not the perfect husband, not the perfect wife, not the perfect spouse, not the perfect friend. Not the perfect. But maybe there's something that person can do, that did, and continues to, and say, oh my goodness, I missed it. All these years, I missed it. I could see it. This person has these good qualities, these good traits, and I could learn from that person. Are we getting it? That's what we're talking about. That's how you model it. And that's why I shared the story and I opened it with Sean. Sean's not a perfect man, don't put him up there. Because the minute you put Sean up there on the pedestal, he's going to fall in your eyes right away. Is that true? The second you put Sean up on that pedestal and say, he's such a great guy, and then the second that he does something that's not to your liking, he falls off that pedestal, and then who gets burned? You get burned. And he gets burned. But if you're able to look at Sean and receive him and say, oh my goodness, he's taking care of 3 kids, he's 21 years old, he's being the best dad that he can be. He's not going to be the perfect dad, but he's trying really hard. and taking content to the background he comes from, then I can learn from him. Are we cool? Are we cool? Let's go to the next part. We continue. Please read Acts 4, 36 to 37, next and out. Please read with me. Joseph, whom the apostles called Barnabas, which means son of encouragement, sold a field he owned, and brought the money and put it at the apostles' feet. Speak of him. Joseph is his name, and the apostles call him Barnabas. Underline Barnabas. What does the name Barnabas mean? Why did he call him Barnabas? When you read Joseph, well, Barnabas means simply this, which means son of what? Encouragement. That's a cool name. Man, that's a cool name. How do we know that he is an encourager? Well, he took action. He modeled it. He sold a field, underline sold a field, which he owned. And he brought the money and put it at the apostles' feet. Let me have your attention, please. There you go. I mean, the apostle looked at this guy's name, what's the name? Joseph? And they go, oh my goodness, I'm going to name him Barnabas. What does that mean? And he says, well, that means he's a son. That means his whole identity, his whole trait, you could say, that's an encourager. He's an encourager. Well, how do we know that he's an encourager? He took action. He had some property. Well, here's what he did, man. He took some of his property, he sold the church at needs, right? He goes like this. I'll sell my condo from the truck. No, I cannot sell that one. I'll price that one. I'll sell the one in, all right, I'll sell the one in Queens, in Brooklyn. Sorry, guys. The Jersey, sell it in Jersey. I'm keeping the one in Tribeca. So he sold his little condo, Jay. And he took that money and he placed it at Pastor Kenny's feet. Yes, like, no. He gave it to the church. Seriously, he gave it to the church. Wow. That's an encouragement to me. Is that encouragement to you guys? Seriously speaking. Isn't that encouragement to you? So to be encouragers, to have this positive modeling of action. So go back to all your relationships, one that's very dear. For those that are able to, for those of you who are able to say, I love you, I care about you, and you speak positive, affirming words, I ask you this thing, how's your actions? Maybe the person that's been hearing you saying all those good stuff does not trust you well enough because you have not modeled. You have not modeled positive actions. For some of us, it's so easy to say, I love you, and I'm serious. There are certain people that would say, I love you, I care about you, I would go like this, seriously, I would take a step away and say, I don't think so. Because if you truly love me, if you truly care about me, if you truly encourage me, I don't see the actions. Who has felt that? You have felt that. So words alone is not good enough. Action alone is not good enough. You need to have both. You need to put the two together. If all you have is just action and you don't say the words, something is totally amiss. See that dad, that video I showed you? See that dad? Does that dad love the son? Yes or no? Yeah. Yes. Who says the dad loves the son? Yes. Oh, the rest of you say no. Oh yes, he loves the son. Oh yes, he loves him. He doesn't know how to test, but he loves the son. It comes from a good place. It comes from a good place. He doesn't know how to speak it. But the action is there. But we need both. We need both. So this week is very, very simple. Your to-do, look at all your relationships. It's just something that you can do. Simple. Don't sell your condo, please. Seriously, that's a joke. You don't have to go and buy someone like here's a $10,000 or whatever it is. So like here's a $5, here's a $200 whatever it is, and here's a Kobe limited edition. You don't have to do any of that. Seriously, you do not have to do any of that. But you could do something small. That little act means so much. That little act means so much. I received an email this past week. Multiple emails from people. I was so encouraged. I was so encouraged. It just makes my day. Just a little email and say, hey, learning, growing, it's wonderful. And then I go, cool. So cool. The person doesn't even know how much the person has encouraged me. Are you guys getting me? That means that person has been able to take something out that's within me and took it out, and I'm able to understand myself even more. That that I have a value, that I am significant in that sense, and that I'm making a contribution. You see that gift? You see that simple gift, or even just writing an email? So for people that's very dear in your life, and you cannot speak it, maybe it's just to start with an email first. Then maybe it's to do a chore, do a task, do something easy for the person. Is that cool? Yeah? We end with this week. Let's go. Lastly, here's what we do as encouragers. Please read Titus 1, 9-10, nice and loud. Please read with me. So that he can encourage others by sound doctrine and refute those who oppose it. For there are many rebellious people, mere talkers and deceivers. Take a pen. So that he can encourage. You see the word encourage is in the Bible time and time and time again. Encourage others. I don't want to encourage others. Please take a pen and go by sound doctrine. Circle the word sound doctrine. And refute those who oppose it. For there are many rebellious people. Underline rebellious. Everyone say rebellious. Mere talkers. Underline mere talkers. Everyone say mere talkers.
Mere talkers.
Number 3, underline deceivers. Everyone say deceivers. Yes. And we're going to continue. Please read Romans 15:45. We finish for today. Nice and loud. Please read with me. So that through endurance and encouragement of the Scriptures, we might have hope. May the God who gives endurance and encouragement give you a spirit of unity among yourselves as you follow Christ Jesus. Take the pen. This passage is so cool. Everyone say so cool.
So cool.
Yeah. I'll show you what I mean. So that through endurance and encouragement of the Scriptures, and why through so-called endurance, so-called encouragement. Where is it coming from? The word others from the Scriptures, so-called Scriptures. And when we have endurance and when we have encouragement that comes from God's Word, we might have what? Hope. That's what we desire. So-called word hope. Everyone say hope.
Hope.
May the God who gives endurance and encouragement, so-called word God, and the line gives. Here's your fill-in for number 6. It requires sharing of God's promise. It requires sharing of God's promises. Let me have attention, please. I'll finish with a slide. There was this white man. He just came out. He left his son's wedding. I don't know if you guys saw this. A white man and his wife left his son's wedding. They got into the car. They went to a convenience store. They parked there, Eddie, in front of a convenience store. I don't know if it's 7-Eleven. I don't know what it was. He went in to get some drinks. When the white man got out of the car, there was a car next to his with 4 black teenagers. And they were playing some, what the white man said, club music, very loud. The white man got out of the car and told the driver, went to the driver and said, "Will you shut that down?" They're not going back there. The driver says, "No." And the white man takes out his gun, starts shooting. Seriously. Starts shooting. They're in front of a convenience store. The guy just came out from a wedding, trying to go get a drink. And what ticked them off was because some guys were playing club music too loud for him. And because they didn't turn down the radio fast enough, or the tape, or the CD, or whatever fast enough, he started shooting. Squeezed out 10 shots with 4 people in there. The passengers in the car started fleeing, started running away. He went bang, bang, bang. Bang, bang again. 10 times. The driver is dead. Murdered. Killed. Brought to a trial. And here's what the white man says. No, he's innocent, he says. That's what the white man says. It says, I didn't mean to kill him. It was self-defense. I'm not making this up. It was self-defense. And the reason he says, I got out of my car to shoot him, well, I didn't mean to shoot him, but the driver took out something from the car, and he pointed something at me, so since he pointed something at me, so then I'm going to take my knife, and I just boom, boom, boom. So they said, why do you have to squeeze out 10 shots then? Why didn't you stop at the first, second, third shots? Because the guy that he said they pulled out, and he didn't pull out anything, because they looked into the car, there was no gun, there was nothing there. So the white guy was just making up a story so that he could shoot the guy by justifying that he was shooting the guy. So he said, why do you have to squeeze out 10 shots then? If this is self-defense that you're pleading, you're innocent, why do you have to go bang, bang, and then he's down, and the guys are running, and then you go bang, bang, bang again? Why? And then why didn't you call the cops in after that? Why did you drive away from the scene? Because the video caught him. He didn't stay in the scene, the video caught him. There was a trial. He's convicted of murder. He'll spend the rest of his life in jail. The reason I share this story with you has to do with encouragement. The mother of the teen who got shot and is dead. On the day of sentencing, the mother was there. And the white man apologized. And the white man says, I was wrong. Is that going to bring her son back to life? Is that going to do anything for her?
No.
No. In front of the judge, in front of the packed courthouse, the mother goes like this, Eddie. The mother goes, I forgive you. I forgive you. The mother goes like this. The mother goes, throughout my years with my son, ever since he was born, I've always taught my son this one thing, which is to always forgive. So the mother was telling the son, ever since he was a baby, forgive. Forgive those people who hurt you. You have to forgive. You have to continue to forgive. You have to go on. And now she's being tested. Are you guys getting it? Now she's challenged. So her life story for her son is you have to forgive so they can move forward. You cannot live in hate. And now she has to practice that. So when the killer, the guy who's going to sit in jail for the rest of his life, asks for an apology and asks for forgiveness, the woman, the mom, forgave the killer. I share this with you because this is not Mother Teresa. This is not Pastor Rick Warren. This is just another ordinary individual. This is another ordinary individual. There's something that she claims that she could because she holds on to this. This is God's word to her. She, in all her life, she has taught her son to forgive, which is a Christian virtue, which is a sign of a child of God. And she has to live this out. And you have to ask yourself this very simple question right now. How do you get encouragement into you? So that you can encourage others. We start with this. All those relationships, all those important relationships, you have to encourage them. So my question to you right now is, how do you become an encourager to all those relationships? Right? And all of you, and myself, we go, I can't, I don't know how. You need this behind you. I could encourage that person because God's word has encouraged me. Are you guys getting it? I could only encourage someone to the extent that I have received encouragement from the Lord God Almighty Himself. Are we getting it? There are promises in this book. There are sound doctrines, it says here, right? Sound doctrine is their sound teaching. There are teachings in this book from the Lord. There are promises here that changes me, that encourages me, that when I don't want to forgive, and this book says, I've forgiven you, Pastor Kenny. I've received forgiveness. And since I've received forgiveness, then I could go forgive others. I have received hope from this, from God's word. So because I have received it, then I can share it. Are you guys hearing me now? You cannot share something that you don't have. You can't. I'll say it again. You cannot share something you don't have. True? If it's not in you, you cannot share it. You cannot go to all those important relationships and say the essence and the purpose of relationships is help each other be the best that you can be. Well, how can I help that person be the best that you can be if I don't have it within me? I don't have it within me. I don't have it. How can I give hope? I can't give hope, and you can't give hope. You cannot buy it. You cannot go like, let me buy some hope here, get a six-pack and give it to them. No, you can't do that. You can't, right? True. But here's what you can do. Just like what little Joey did. He takes his Bible, he circles, he underlines it, he goes, oh my goodness, those are for me, those promises are for me. Let me just read something real quick for you guys. You guys think about this as I read this. Just reflect for a moment. If you want to be encouragers, take these words I'm about to share with you. Receive them to your heart. There will be times this week that you'll need it. Then you share it. There will be times this week that you'll need it for yourself. You have it in your heart. Okay? Then you keep it for yourself. Then there are times that you're going to need it this week, and you're like, I'm going to share it. Because this person needs it more than I do right now. But I could give it to this person because I've already received it. So for the next 1 minute, just listen. And if it's something that touches your heart, you hold into that. This is what Jesus said. Jesus goes, come to me, all you who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest. Just let that sink in. Another one. Peace I leave with you, my peace I give you. I do not give to you as the world gives. Do not let your hearts be troubled, and do not be afraid. Here's another one. And we know that in all things God works for the good of those who love Him. Here's another one. Know therefore that the Lord your God is God. He is the faithful God, keeping His covenant of love to 1,000 generations of those who love Him and keep His commandments. Last one. God has said, never will I leave you